And Johnny, let's move on into our last discussion. And this is kind of a fun one. Little MCU rumors going abound as I saw this from Comic Book. Yeah, a little gassy over there. Usually I'm the gassy one. I know. You're
just doing it behind the scenes. That's all.
I know. Farting in the corner. Farting in the fart corner is what I like to do. Yeah. It's a stinky fart corner where our camera is.
You guys all know it stays there.
Yeah, it stays there in this nicely ventilated studio that we have.
Nicely ventilated.
By that I mean it's not ventilated
at all. There is not a
single
single opening window.
And it stanks in here when you get especially after live streams like the draft where it's 6-hour live streams. Yeah, it smells like stank in here. So patreon.com/mostvaluedpodcast is how you help support us get a new studio so that Johnny doesn't die via the smell of Ricky's farts. But we are talking
It's okay, put a gas mask on between takes.
MCU rumors today as comicbook.com has a little bit about a possible actor who we could be seeing in the MCU. So this was all via Twitter. So Deadpool co-creator Rob Liefeld wants to see Fast and the Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw, just basically Hobbs and Shaw, star Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as cybernetically enhanced mercenary Garrison Kane in the MCU. And Johnson wants a meeting with the franchise star Ryan Reynolds. There was a little bit of back and forth on Twitter on Twitter and Instagram, which first off, you had Liefeld wrote on Instagram, he said, "Dearest at The Rock, based on reports of outstanding chemistry between you and a familiar friend, I believe the next logical step is for you to join the Marvel Universe as Garrison Kane in a future Deadpool installment." Then The Rock took to Twitter, as Liefeld also posted this on Twitter as well. The Rock quoted it on Twitter and said, "Dearest Rob, thank you, amigo. It's true. In At Hobbs and Shaw, I have insanely outstanding chemistry with our familiar friend. Since you created the characters, how does one Garrison Kane get alone?" I think he meant along. "Get alone with one skull emoji guy swimming?" ? Which you can all assume what he means by skull guy swimming, Mr. Dead.
Skull swimming.
Mr. Skull swimming. Mr.
Captain
Deadpool. Captain Deadpool.
Just Deadpool.
So the thing that's interesting about this, and I got to pull it up for sure so that I'm not spewing fake news here on the podcast.
It's fake news.
Okay, that was not it. I believe there's a connection between, let's see, Drew Leach or Leitch. Yeah, that was it. So let's see, stunts, don't want that. Director, want that. Yes, that was it. So the connection between them is, so Rob Liefeld, like I said, creator of Deadpool, wants to see it happen. So not only do The Rock and Ryan Reynolds have outstanding chemistry, which if you haven't seen Hobbs and Shaw, go see it just for that alone. Brick in the chest. But basically number two is, so I'm going to say this name wrong, so bear with me. David Leitch, Leitch, Leitch is the last name. He directed Hobbs and Shaw. Do you know which other film he has also directed, Johnny? Deadpool 2.
Did he really?
So the director of Deadpool 2 worked with Ryan Reynolds, directed Hobbs and Shaw, and worked with both Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. My question before we get into the Garrison Kane part of this, my question to you is, will we ever see The Rock in one way or another in the MCU? Because we're definitely going to see him in a DC movie as he is Black Adam.
Yes. I am really hoping to. I think it would be awesome. I mean, I'm not opposed to the Garrison Kane, but the one I was hoping...
Which we'll get into Garrison Kane, but who were you hoping
The one I was
for?
hoping for a while, but I can also see this one working out, was having our own Samoan water-based hero.
Namor?
Yeah.
The Rock is Namor?
I heard talks about that beforehand.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about that is Namor's not a buff guy.
That's true. He's not
Namor's a thin guy.
He's like not the Rock big. So.
Yeah, that's one where it's like
until they brought this one up, that's where I wanted to see him in the MCU.
With the Namor stuff, even if Garrison Kane wasn't brought up, I would almost look at that and go, but Namor's a thinner guy.
I just want our own Samoan.
I know.
No, but I'm
kind of like how I almost said kind of like how we have one of ours, but it's a Momoan, Jason Momoa on the DCEU side. Is Jason Momoa Samoan?
I don't know what he is.
I don't know. I'll look it up while you talk. But
yeah, no.
Are we going to even see The Rock in the MCU?
It would be cool to see him as Garrison Kane because then I could see it fitting. Plus, like he said, directed Deadpool 2, directed Hobbs and Shaw, has great chemistry with Ryan Reynolds. Tell me that would not play in greatly for the next one, especially if they're having the villain be Garrison Kane.
So I'm looking here, and I got a little bit off. So Jason Momoa was born in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Okay, so he's Hawaiian. Well,
his father is native Hawaiian, and his mother is German, Irish, and Native American.
So he's actually Hawaiian.
Yes. So he's not Samoan. He's just Hawaiian.
Okay, I thought he was. I thought there was reference to him being, but
might have been. I'm looking at Wikipedia. If we're wrong, let us know because usually we are in some cases. And I don't know. I wish I had Jason Momoa on like speed dial so that I could like call him up on the podcast and be really cool and say, "Hey, Jason, one question: are you Samoan?" And basically have him live. But I'm not. I don't have those connections.
No, I still at first when I heard
Jason Momoa the Samoan, like I think it should rhyme.
Maybe
so
that's why I was thinking he was because his name sort of sounds like it too.
Momoa.
And I didn't. Okay, well, anyways,
back to the real thing we're talking about.
No, at first when I was hearing talks of The Rock being Namor, I'm like, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
because that gives a new like kind of twist on what the Atlanteans of the MCU look like. They could be bigger like than a normal human. Adds into the strength and stuff like that. But I mean, looking at Garrison Kane in comparison, at this point with the mixture of like having the chemistry with Ryan Reynolds, the chemistry with the director that they were talking about.
Yeah.
And if you look at Garrison Kane, basically like you can just take The Rock, put some green sleeves on him, and then just dress him up like that. I think it would work.
Yeah, and the thing that I kind of think also is story-wise, it fits near perfectly.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is if you don't know who Garrison Kane is, because I obviously had to look it up coming into this podcast, he's basically, I'm going to say a friend or an acquaintance of Cable. They work together.
Let's go acquaintance.
Basically, Cable fucks him over, and I'm paraphrasing here. Cable fucks him over, leaves him for dead without his legs and his arms, and kind of opens up, sling rings it basically. I know that's not what he uses, but boom, here's a big time portal. I'm going to jump through it, and leaves Garrison Kane left for dead. Kane is then found, given by Weapon X cybernetic arms and legs, and then he basically comes to kill Cable and get his revenge, which in the movies can work out perfectly because we just had Deadpool 2 that was wrapped around Cable and him being introduced into the storyline. And now
X-Force.
And now him and Deadpool are best friends. They're best friends, right? Best friends, Johnny.
We're not
best
friends.
Club. We're basically, I think, it would be hilarious if like they're together. It could even be like the beginning of Deadpool 3 is the end of Deadpool 2 almost, where they're just like standing next to each other at like the final scene, and then it just opens up a portal and Kane comes out just to fucking kill Cable, and Deadpool goes, "Who the fuck is that guy?" And then boom, it's a fight. Like, I mean, of course it wouldn't happen exactly like that. My ideas never are taken to the silver
You know what would be really
screen.
funny? So we just had Hobbs and Shaw where we had Ryan Reynolds' character saying that they're best friends.
Yeah.
Have him open up the portal like behind Ryan Reynolds and him walk out with like the cybernetic arms. Maybe even have like one of them, because there's different pictures I was looking at Garrison Kane where like one where a knife comes out the side.
One has them like their Mega Man tubes.
It could be like maybe it's like a nanotech that like like Tony Stark's. It turns into whatever he thinks
Yes.
thinks it to be. You can even have the glowing eye, like make that like the like, hey, that's what triggers it. The eye glows and it does what he wants it to.
Yeah.
So that would be like, pour opens behind Deadpool. He walks out all like rocks style. And you just see back to back Deadpool going, that's like talking to their best friends. And all of a sudden you see Cable's like face like ghost white.
Cable knows what's coming.
Yeah, knows it's coming. Ryan Reynolds turns around and go, oh, this is awkward.
Because they were just best friends in
Hobbs
and Shaw. Here's the only thing.
You gotta play into the fourth wall shit.
Here's the only thing, and this even comes into the Black Adam situation also. I feel like at this point, when I look at The Rock, and I look at his recent roles, and maybe I could be wrong, and we prove Ricky wrong here on the podcast right now, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with being
Prove
wrong.
Ricky wrong.
But if you look at his recent roles, Fast and the Furious, he was Hobbs. Kind of a tough guy early on, but in this latest movie, he wasn't really, like, he was a tough guy, but lovable personality. Like, he wasn't a brash asshole, is what I'm saying.
A brash hole.
Yeah. Fighting with My Family, he was just The Rock. But, like, even Skyscraper, he wasn't like that. Rampage, he wasn't like that. Jumanji, he wasn't like that. Baywatch wasn't like that. I'm even going back. Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart wasn't like that at all. To where I almost feel like the last time he was close to that might have been... Now, San Andreas I did not see, so that might have been it, because that was more of a serious movie. But if not San Andreas, maybe Furious 7 when we saw Hobbs in that one. But even that, I never saw Hobbs as that asshole character. Other than that, it would be Hercules. When he was Hercules in 2014.
Wasn't really asshole in that one either.
Yeah, but even so, it's like that was like his last non-comedic role. To the fact of, I wonder if The Rock is, and he's the most charismatic entertainer that we've ever seen. Even his days in WWE, where I'm not questioning if he can, because I know he can. I've seen him in the WWE. I've seen him be a face. I've seen him be a heel. For those not in the wrestling terms, I've seen him be a good guy. I've seen him be a bad guy. I know he has it in him. It's not that. It's just, I almost feel like The Rock has been typecast. Like, he has become his own kind of character where it's like, he is the lovable tough guy who's got a charismatic personality, but at the same time, like, I think of Rampage as that, where it's like charismatic tough guy, where I've got charisma, but at the same time, I'm also an introvert. Where that was the only thing where with his character, where when he has to play that introverted character, I'm like, I don't believe it because you're so charismatic and you're so funny.
That could be because
as a
you also
person.
have a predisposition to having him in as The Rock.
There's that too. But even like his one-liners that he has in those movies, it's like, yeah, introverts don't say it with that kind of smoothness.
True.
That you see where it's like,
Or with that confidence.
yes. And I question that side of it. And that's why I can't wait to see his Black Adam, which is in pre-production. I think this is fun. This is fun to talk about right now. But if we're looking at this, I'm not going to say it's not going to happen because I could totally see it happening. My only thought process is this. I'll ask you this, Johnny. When do you think Disney is going to develop and put out? What year do you think they put out the next Deadpool film? Because that'll change my opinion, will we see this for Deadpool 3?
I don't know. Because it hasn't been announced for Phase 4 Deadpool, has it?
No.
So, I mean, there is that one movie slot that we don't know what's going to be.
Which, by the way, they could keep Deadpool off on his own. Like, not a part of the MCU.
Yeah,
He's
that's
just
true. It could be it's not tied in just yet type thing. It could be, hey, we're still putting this out kind of under the Fox name because Disney may not want to pull like a rated R movie because they want to keep Deadpool rated R.
Yeah, they said they're going to.
So they could still be like left under the Fox umbrella. So that could just have not been announced because, hey, it's not part of the MCU.
Yeah.
Not just yet even.
Because it was...
Like, hey, we're going to like slowly tie that one in because when we pull Ryan Reynolds in, if we pull Ryan Reynolds in, he's going to have to be rated he's going to have to be PG-13, which is not impossible.
Ooh. This is from...
Like Detective Pikachu and Once Upon a Deadpool both prove that. That they can have a PG-13 movie without Ryan Reynolds being like... Or they can have a Deadpool while it being PG-13.
And now I'm seeing here that basically... Because I just typed in Deadpool 3 to see where exactly we are with Deadpool 3. Like, is a script done yet? Are they working on a script? And I type in Deadpool 3, and one of the first stories I come up with is basically what you were just saying. This is from, let me see, Culturist. It's the fan-sided network. I'm going to see where they got this news from. Basically, and they're not the only site to say this, that there's conflicting reports that Deadpool may not be R-rated. And then there's other articles that apparently David Leitch, who I said directed Deadpool 2, there's a Yahoo Entertainment article where they basically say that the director has said that the sequel could have a lower rating and doesn't need to be a... right here. He goes, so he says it's rated R, so that's not necessarily the MCU brand, but he doesn't necessarily need to be R, and Disney don't necessarily need to only make PG-13 movies. I think we'll find a happy ground. Here's what I think, and this is my thought process. If Deadpool's on his own, he's rated R. If he gets crossed over into a Spider-Man movie or a MCU movie,
PG-13.
PG-13. Like, it's which kind of a Deadpool are we going to see? Where if he's in his own movie, rated R. If he's in someone else's movie, we see Once Upon a Deadpool, which helped that's why I think Once Upon a
Or
Deadpool
Detective Pikachu
really helped the character, because like Detective Pikachu works because it's basically Deadpool as Pikachu.
Yeah.
But at the same time, seeing Once Upon a Deadpool is seeing the Deadpool character in PG-13, which
exactly. I'm just saying Detective Pikachu is another
Deadpool.
reference to say Ryan Reynolds can do a PG-13 movie and still act like Deadpool.
Exactly. Where it didn't have to make Disney worried about what to do with Deadpool. I think the rated R thing, I don't think we see a Deadpool solo movie that's not rated R. Because in my opinion, it'd be stupid by Disney just to be afraid of that part of it. to put it off on its own. So, I mean, to me, I think it's going to be rated R. My big question is, like I said, with The Rock, and I can't wait to see with Black Adam. And that's why I asked you, when do we see a Deadpool 3? Because with the other two Deadpools, it was 2016, 2018. If we're going down that timeline, 2020 would be where it is. But is Disney going to wait until post Phase 4? Are they going to wait until 2021? We know that X-Men is planned out, but they're not going to rush to X-Men. They're going to do Fantastic Four first and then go over to X-Men. The other kind of little nugget that we got to put in there is if we're talking about The Rock being in a Deadpool movie, is how's Black Adam going to fit in?
I guess it's whoever gets, because you said it's in pre-production.
It is. So
it's I guess it depends on who gets ready first.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Right now, pre-production, they've got a script done. They're churning. Like, those wheels are turning to where, here's what I think. If they're serious about bringing The Rock in, I'm almost sitting on it to where I feel like we could see a situation where we don't see The Rock in a Deadpool 3 movie because he's got Black Adam's not the only one. Mm-hmm. He's got Red Notice, which is in pre-production, Black Adam, which is in pre-production, and then he's got 4 that are announced: The King, San Andreas 2, Doc Savage, and then one of the ones that people are really excited about because it's a remake of an 80s movie, Big Trouble in Little China. So he's got, like, The Rock is the most, I don't know how he does it, how he's in all these movies. Like, he just gets it done, where he is the busiest guy in showbiz, it seems, to where
in the recent years, yeah,
getting him in a Deadpool movie has to fit into his schedule. And I don't know if it's going to work for Deadpool 3, but it could work for Deadpool 4. That's why the Garrison Kane thing, even if it is a Deadpool 4, could still work. I just don't know if we see it for Deadpool 3. We'll definitely, like, if he is, it'll be Deadpool 4 or 5 or Deadpool, or even an X-Force movie. Like you said, they could do an X-Force movie.
Do another Deadpool
with
solo
Deadpool
movie,
in
and
it.
then do another Deadpool solo movie, then do an X-Force movie, still keep it kind of rated R just to keep the because we'll call it the Deadpool franchise.
Yeah.
And then just any of those make rated R. When Deadpool joins the actual MCU, he becomes PG-13 once upon a Deadpool. And what could happen is do another solo Deadpool movie, or like some Deadpool franchise movie. Then when you can get The Rock, do what's it called? The X-Force movie with introducing Garrison Kane. And there you go. And that's all depending on like what The Rock's schedule is.
Yeah. Sorry I couldn't help you out with that word. I was switching the battery for the
No,
camera.
you're good.
Yeah, it's like that's the biggest thing with The Rock, and that's anything, is his schedule. Is his schedule going to work out? Because
like, which movie's ready when?
Well, because
that's what it's
even
going to come down to.
Look at how long the Black Adam thing happened, to where, what was it, like a couple of years ago? It's like, yeah, we're going to have
been announced
The Rock
a while
is
ago.
Black Adam, and now we're finally getting it, like, starting to churn right now. Like, that's what we're.
I think part of it was DC
at.
wasn't sure what they were doing for a little bit.
There was that too.
Like, they were like, I'm like, okay, where do we go right now?
And of course, you've got to introduce Shazam before you introduce Black Adam, which I'm totally shocked. I'm totally excited for, because there was the deleted scene in the Shazam DVD set.
Oh, really?
So it's the Shazamily sitting at the, like, in the thrones, and they're kind of like, oh, these are cool. And then the I can't remember her name, purple suit, speedster. She kind of looks over and she goes, why is there one empty? And there's an empty chair. Well, who sits there? Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Black Adam's the one who sits there. So it's kind of like a reference to, hey, he's here. we know he's here.
It's in the universe.
So, any final thoughts on this before we close up everything?
No, I'd be excited to have him in this one, in X-Force or
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3 or whatever, however Disney wants to play it out.
But for me, I feel like if we do get him, it'll be 4 or beyond. I don't think we get him in a Deadpool 3. But let us know what you guys think down below in that comment section. Are we going to see The Rock in Deadpool 3? Will they make it work? Will they delay Deadpool 3 enough to where he's in Deadpool 3 and they put a foot in Ricky's mouth? Let us know what you guys think down below. If you don't want to see him in Deadpool but want to see him in the MCU somewhere else, let us know. Like Johnny said, the Namor thing, if you want that, let us know what you guys are thinking. Make sure to support us on patreon.com/mostvaluedpodcast. That's where you can help us get our new studio. That is the biggest MO for us. Get our own studio, a place that we can call home, because we use this. We're thankful to Pete that we can use this, but this is not our home. This is our rented home. Not really rented because we don't pay Pete, but this is our kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Borrowed?
Our Airbnb. It's MVP's Airbnb that we kind of use every once in a while to record. Make sure to rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts and iTunes. And what else? Twitter, War Machine 9085, Ricky Widmer at Most Valuable Pod. Thank you guys for checking us out. We'll see you next week. As always, have a good day, everybody.